What is up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. My name is Splattercat, and I am hiking my ass all the way back to camp in the hopes that maybe we'll be able to return and get some work done inside of that mine before too long. I left all the wood over there. I'm trying to get an idea for where I can get back up the hill right here. It looks like I can climb up this hill, and so I'm going to be very, very careful about this. Ooh, don't want to do that. But it looks like I should be able to get back up this hill somehow. There is actually a back entrance by the mine off to the left of it where you can go down the mountain. And so Shield's definitely, I mean, she's not, Shield will be, is not the case here. She is coming down the mountain when she comes right now. But anyways, we're on our way down the mountain. You ever wonder about that? Like, people's lives were so boring back in the day that they had to write songs about people just walking down hills. She'll be coming down the mountain. I know it's about trains or something like that. I realize the real historical significance of the song still. At a certain point, I was thinking about that the other day. I watched a documentary on Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids because I always liked, when I was a kid, my favorite thing in the whole world were bad guys in the Old West. I liked the bad guys way better. I had this little book. It's maybe like 200 pages, paperback. And it had basically short, like 10 to 15 page biographies of all like the cool guys in the Wild West. So all the good guys and the bad guys, and the book was cut in half. And so in the back half it had the villains, and in the front half it has the good guys. It didn't help. It didn't matter that they put the good guys first because the bad guys were so much more engaging. Some gloves right there. The bad guys are always more interesting though. They always have better motivations. Their story is always like more tragic, you know what I mean? The good guys, it's always just like, well, I used to be a cattle rancher and then somebody stole some of my cows. And so now I'm going to ride around for the next 20 years shooting bad guys without trials, just executing them on the road. Whereas the bad guys, it's always like something quite a bit more tragic. I don't know, the bad guys always struck me as being cooler. I always liked them better. And so anyways, I watched a thing on Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. It didn't have Ken Burns. I mean, if it had Ken Burns, it would have been even better. But sometimes you don't get Ken Burns out of the situation. If you don't know who Ken Burns is, he's like one of the best documentarians there is. Like, his documentaries are the shit as far as documentaries are concerned. Plus, he's got an okay voice, but though I like the way that he phrases all of his different scenery and all of his different scenes as well. I like all the way he slides through all the random pictures and stuff that he splices in on his historical documentaries. Although Ken Burns mostly focuses on American history as far as I know. And so, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot more. So there's a bend in the road right here. I'm trying to figure out a faster way to get up to the mine. Because that way, walking all the way around and then looping back in, it just takes too long. And so if I can get back into the mine, like right there. And where does this road go to? Like this road, we're almost down by the lake right now. And so that's the little cut right there where you can go up. And if you make it all the way up, the mine should be like right there. Huh. The back way's a lot quicker too, I think. Oh, really? You just break off from right here? Oh, that's easy to find. That's not bad at all. Oh, that's well and doable. Okay, so basically what I wanted to do is we went into a mine in the previous episode, but the mine was more expansive than I expected it to be. I went down a couple of hallways and just kind of kept a look at it, or just got an idea for what it felt like. And it seems to me as though the mine is a bad idea for right now. We didn't have the supplies to properly explore it. I want to have a bedroll. I want to have a number of different things before I start exploring dangerous locations like that, just to make sure that I can spend the night, that I can refill my lantern so that I can keep on seeing. Maybe we get a couple of torches as well before we go in there. It's just a bunch of random stuff that I think it would be very, very wise to bring back with us. I don't know why I'm walking around the sides of the building like this, but the truth of the matter is the wolves have dispersed. How many hours of daylight do I have? 4 hours of daylight. We can make it out to that island right now. And that was one of the things that I wanted to explore in future episodes, and we hadn't been able to because there was wolves all over the damn place. And so I'd like to get some of the outlying places done before I do some of the... I think that's that little canoe shack area over there. Now, I don't know what's that way either. Mountain looks like a wizard's hat over there. I am the wizard of the mountain. Bring forth tribute or be turned to gold. Into wizard gold. It's a dead guy over here with a wolf. Chilling with a wolf. Ice sounds okay. However, I'm not trying to get iced right now. Falling through ice into the water is one of the worst things that can possibly happen in a survival situation. That's pretty much just like a GG reroll soon. Hypothermia doesn't get you. just getting out of the water can be a pain. If the ice is thin enough to fall through, it may not be thick enough to crawl out of. This ice is a little bit dark. I don't trust it. I think I can loop through over there, though. Oh, God. I'm holding my breath so hard right now. That very, very dark colored ice over there, that's not the ice you want to step on. If you're trying to get across, I'm trying to pay attention to the stuff that's a little bit lighter in color. And if it can get me out to here, this is sort of like a survival minefield. There we go. And so now we're back on the good ice. So is this a lake or is this touching the ocean? They didn't really, have they said what state of Canada we're in? I don't even know what location in Canada we could possibly be in. I'm assuming we're northward somewhere, but I don't know. Does any of this look familiar to any of you? Canadians, I'm going to need some help right here. Use your Canadian powers. I will give you all of my love. So we've got a cupboard. Come on, bullets! Ever since I shot like 900 wolves in 3 days, I've been really paranoid about my bullet usage. And I would love to have more firearms that I can discharge. I would like to have more rounds, actually. The firearms, I think I'm pretty stacked on. I would like to have more objects that I can propel at a high velocity. This is not a junk jet here. I can't just load it with any language that I want to. Language is a fancy pirate term. If there ever was an oxymoron, I guess that would be one. Language is just a naval term for a cannon stocked with... It's basically anything that you can shove into a cannon. It's like forks, knives, anything really. I mean, any random... I mean, it could be bits of wood, small pieces of anything that you can shove into a cannon. It's what they used to do when they ran out of ammo. If they ran out of grape shot, you'd use language. Fire anything you could at the enemy. Because most people back then didn't know how to swim. And so your ship getting shot down was kind of an issue. You probably weren't going to walk away from it, I'll tell you that much. In general, the Navy discouraged people learning how to swim anyways. Jackrabbit Island. Oh, it's got a name. I assume that it's because there are jackrabbits around, although these are not jackrabbits in the sense that our jackrabbits over here, those are like little... Those definitely aren't jackrabbits, I'll tell you that much right now. We have jackrabbits all over the place here. Thousands of little bastards. And... they're lanky, just weird. They basically look like rabbits on meth. Like, I don't really know how else to describe it. Their babies are cute. But once they grow up, they're like rabbits on meth. They're all lanky and stringy, and they got, like, huge ears and huge feet, but their bodies are super small and skinny. Cats are always fighting with them, getting tore up by them. Dogs, in general, always killing rabbits out here, too. There's so many of them, though. Like, for real. Like, there's areas around here where you can walk and you can just look at a field and it's like, it's crawling with rabbits come springtime. Like, the entire field looks like it's just undulating and moving from all the rabbits. It's like, wow, there are a lot of rabbits out there. No, I don't want to drop my beef jerky. Let's go ahead. Oh, that was not what I wanted to light up, but you know what? It'll have to do. Sturm Lantern! If we find any food, I'll probably spend the night here. Just because... it's like one of those pictures that, like, outdoorsy people have in their house. Like, really, really out. It's just some guy walking with a rifle. I always remember when I was pooping at my friend's house when I was, like, 7 years old. I had to use his bathroom, and his family, this is the family that I was talking about that was hella rich that ran to Bolivia because they were evading taxes or something like that. And so they fled the country. And so anyways, when I was a kid, in their bathroom, they had a picture of, like, it was from the perspective of a guy who was sitting on his porch in a chair, and he had, like, cowboy boots on. And there was a scorpion on his boot, and he was getting ready to flick it off his boot. And I always remember that. It's the most specific memory ever, but I can remember that picture. Like, I can't remember anything else about being a kid. Like, it's always just bits and pieces. However, in the case of that picture, I remember it very, very well. I could bust up this entire house if I really wanted to be an asshole, but the time has not yet come for that sort of hardcore survival. I get all these cabinets. Did not get you. Hey, tomato soup. We might make it through the night. I'm going to need a lot more food than that, though, before I can call it a day here. We got plenty of water, though, and there should be a toilet upstairs that'll be perfectly fine for us. I'm really glad we made it out onto the island. Antiseptic up on the counter, so apparently somebody gave themselves a boo-boo before they keeled on off or bailed on out or left. They got pancakes with a heart around it. This is what I need in my kitchen. a picture of pancakes with a love heart around it. Just be like, hint, hint, girlfriend. Hint, hint. My girlfriend doesn't really cook. Neither do I, though, so I can't really complain about it. It would be nice to get pancakes every now and again, though. I do like pancakes. Apparently, she can make really good French toast, but she's been holding out on me. I think she's waiting until I put a ring on it or something before she gives me the French toast. I'm not really sure. I shouldn't have drank that water. I should have drank the sodas. Would have been better for us. Luckily, I got my fancy, handy-dandy can opener with me. So I'm going to eat some of this tomato soup. It's only 300 calories. That is unfortunate. I was hoping that would have a lot more calories in it. I'm also going to eat a tin of sardines. Go ahead and crack that thing on open, too. I'm trying to get my calories at least up to 1,500 before we go do anything else. Got peanut butter up here, actually. That might make for a decent meal. So there it is. That'll actually hold us over till morning pretty well. And so we had sardines and peanut butter for dinner. What an odd dinner. If it was like peanut butter and crackers, that would have made sense. My mom used to make that all the time when I was a kid. Just like saltine crackers with some peanut butter on top of them. Yup, ants on a log. We used to have that where it was just, although we didn't have ants on the log, we just had the log. And so it'd just be celery with peanut butter on top. Rifle round, I'll take it. One rifle round sounds fantastic. Orange soda right there. Wool socks. Anything underneath the bed? Sources say no. Is there anything on this side, though, hiding alongside the cabinets? Thought that was a rifle round for a second when I was walking over here. A little bit of lantern fuel. Sounds good to me. I'm going to refuel the lantern when we get back. Pictures of wolves on the wall. I have no idea if that would be some part of a psychologist's prognosis over this individual. I don't know if I would keep wolves on my wall. Maybe some people like wolves, though. Go ahead and take some scrap metal from over here. We have 2 liters of potable water. This is going to be a long-ass walk back to town because we're carrying a lot of shit with us right now. I think I'm really, really, really overweight. Yeah, we are pretty far down that trail right now as far as being overweight goes. We got towels, we got a medicine shelf, but I want to hit all this before I go anywhere else. And so in the morning, we should be eating a lot of this food anyways. I'll probably try and get the canned stuff down first. Painkillers, ain't nothing else to look at. I mean, I suppose this is as good of a place as any. Burn the house down! That's really not a very good flare. I figure it'd illuminate a little bit better. Oh, there's only 2 hours of daylight left. Yeah, let's just stay here. It'll take me that long just to walk back to base. We'll go ahead and... let me drink some of these sodas while I'm out here. I haven't been diving into my preserved like stockpile at all, and so I don't really care about it. There we go. We'll throw in on like, I don't know, 10 hours of sleeping. I'll probably be fine. That'll get us almost till morning. We'll jump up, we'll have ourselves a snack and a little bit of water. Hopefully I think our water should hold out. 10 hours seems to be about perfect whenever I'm trying to do this. And since we have so many sodas on us, I'm just going to drink those in order to get our thirst taken care of because I would rather keep the water supply undamaged for right now. So there's a couple more calories in there. Down the hatch it goes. I cannot imagine chugging like 4 cans of soda in one sitting. Can you imagine the belch you would have after that? It would be the best. You would have to have the recorder on your phone out. I went through a phase where I recorded all my farts and burps for a while. They're still on my old phone. It's pretty awesome. Not gonna lie, it was pretty sweet. It was a good phase of my life. It was around the time I first started the channel. Actually, it was before then. Only the good ones, though. You can't have a phone full of mediocre farts. That's some quitter stuff right there. You only gotta put the good ones on there, the ones that blast. Set them as your ringtone. So when you're walking through Rayleigh's, it's like, meh, when somebody sends you a text, you're like, that guy farted. I'm like, nope, it's just my ringtone. And they're like, sure. And I'm like, no, seriously, it's just my ringtone. And they're like, yep, sure. I believe you. What are you getting so offended for? I don't have a bedroll with me, do I? The bedroll button is still there, though. Yeah, we're slow walking it. We're going to be slow boating it all the way back to base if we go like this. See what's outside. It's pretty chilly. For all of our equipment right now, it's still a pretty terrible temperature. So I think I would rather stay inside. I don't mess around with anything colder than like 32, so I have gotten far too used to the coastal climes by living here my whole life. And when it gets colder than freezing, I'm just like, this is bullshit. It gets down to like 15 degrees here, which is reasonably cold. It's like 17 degrees Fahrenheit below freezing. It's not a lot, but it's low enough. It's low enough to where it ices over the windows on your car and you can't see where shit, and then you can't even melt it because the ice is thick enough. Ooh. Fog bank. Well, that'll be fun to deal with. Is there anything else on the island out of curiosity? We should probably canvas the whole thing and just make sure. You can never quite tell. Sometimes there's goodie baskets out here somewhere. You find like a dead guy holding something super valuable. And you never would have known that it was there unless you looked around, so I figure it might be a decent idea. All we really have to do is get back to shore that way, but we gotta find ice that's thick enough, and with the fog bank going like it is, I can't look off in the distance. It's not a thick fog bank, there's a worse version of the fog bank too that's a lot thicker. So this one's manageable, but I just want to check all this over here before we go anywhere else. We got a busted ass boat on this side. How its ass got busted, I don't know. Probably shouldn't have squeezed that hard. Got some fiber in its diet, something. Who even knows anymore? I feel like we're really sort of treading on the edge of just like crudeness here. Like this whole episode has just been me kind of riding the line. Riding the line now. Bunny Blaster 5000. I don't think I want to be a Bunny Blaster 5000 right now. Shooting a bunny with a 303 I don't know. I coulda. I mean, I had the shot. It's just that, like, I guess I could make the bunny mittens or whatever. Although I don't even know if I brought my bunny hide with me. It might still be sitting on the floor of the base back there. What is this? A plastic container. Cardboard matches, some extra mittens. That's not bad. Had I any mittens? Or had I not any mittens? Had I not the mittens to bear, the mittens I found over there, made from coarse woolen hair, would be so awesome. But I already have mittens, so it doesn't matter. It is irrelevant. That was one of my superheroes. I had a bunch of animal-themed superheroes that I was going to make, like, a webcomic about, but I can't draw and I have no talent. And so, one of them was called the Untiger. He was a bad guy. His ability is that he could make anything come untied with psychic emanations, but that's the only thing that he could do with psychic emanations. He could just untie shit. Basically, it was going to be a bunch of characters that had stupid powers, and so he was the Untiger, and he would untie stuff, and that was all that he could do. The other one was the Irrelevant, and so he actually had a really powerful power. It started out as like a stupid superhero, but then I realized how powerful he actually was. He has the power to make people just stop caring about things that were relevant to them earlier on, and so he'd be like, wom, 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 wom. And they'd be like, you know, I could get mad and I could care, but it's just irrelevant. And they just walk away. I don't care, it's just irrelevant. The Irrelevant. I can't do an elephant noise, never mind. I don't know how to do an elephant noise. I realized that like 2 seconds before I started doing an elephant noise, and then I was like, that is not a sound effect that I have ever practiced before. Unfortunate. Perhaps I shall steer. Oh, I'm thirsty right now. I'm a little thirsty. Alright, so let's go ahead and throw some water in my mouth here. Should be a decent amount, too, so that'll get rid of a tiny bit of weight. If we could get down below 40, we could actually, like, run. Right now, all we can do is walk. Like, I can't go any faster than this. It's not even an available option. I don't know. Was that overpass always there? I feel like on this side of the map, there was, like, a dead end over here the last time I played. God, we have so much exploration left to do. Like, every time I think that I'm almost done with this map and that we've got other places to go, we find, like, a new thing, like the cave up there. And since we're... rifle ammunition! 5 more rounds! Hooray! 5 more rounds for me and the lads.
Useful.
Watched a movie the other day called The Governors. I like Cockney. I like movies that are about, like, hooliganism and, like, football hooligans and stuff like that. I enjoy them. They make me happy. One of my friends from Scotland was telling me about one, Legendary or something like that, or that I need to go watch, but I haven't gotten around to it just yet. I gotta wait till it goes on Netflix. I only have Netflix. I pay for cable, but there's never anything good on cable, and so I tried. I called Comcast, and I was like, I would like to only have internet from you. I no longer would like to have cable because cable is stupid. And they were like, you can't do that. And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, well, we will charge you more money if you don't take the cable. And I went, that makes no sense. You're going to charge me more money to give me less services? And she was like, that's about the short and skinny of it. And I was like, so what if I don't want the cable? And it seems like you would do more business instead of just forcing people to have this ancient technology that nobody cares about anymore because we have Netflix and torrenting. Like, why? Project Free TV exists. Like, I don't need you anymore. You have done a poor job at cultivating, you know, fair exchange of services in the world. I'm trying to formulate my words carefully here. I'm sorry. I've hit an impasse, and then there was bunnies, and then I was like, ah, how cute, there's bunnies. So anyways, you, Comcast, have done a terrible job at providing service to your customers. And so instead of providing a better service, your response to providing bad service and people trying to unsubscribe and leave is to make the service even worse and extort people. You are the worst. You guys are just awful. I can't wait till Google Fiber just puts you all out of business and you all starve. I hope you guys have Tiny Tim Christmases, man. I hope you guys just, I hope it's the worst. They'd be like, please, may I have another? And somebody's like, no, Comcast, you don't get any more soup. You get to starve in the corner by yourself while Google Fiber has cool gold glasses and also gives us all segways and shit. It's gonna be wow, this is gonna be a long-ass walk back to base. I don't know how I feel about this right now. This is gonna be troublesome. We kind of got waylaid doing a bunch of extra stuff that we didn't need to do. Technically, I could leave a bunch of shit in the road over here and come back and get it later. However, I can condense some of this stuff. Like, I can refill both or I can refill... Which lantern is my lantern? My lantern. There we go. That seems a little bit better. I'll probably bring a lot more kerosene with me, though, before we go up into the mine, just because I have a phobia of being trapped in, like, dark places and not being able to see. I always wondered about that, like, let's assume you get lost in a mine for a while, and it's pitch black, and you can't see, and there's no sound. Like, there's no dripping water or anything like that. It's just the absence of any sort of stimuli. How would you know... Aside from, I guess, talking or whatever, or like shouting, but you can do that in your dreams too. How would you know the difference between reality and dreaming at that point? Like, let's assume that you don't starve and you don't die of thirst and you're just in there, you're immortal, and you live forever in that environment, like a genie in a lamp or something. How would you know the difference between, like, the states of consciousness? My guess is that you wouldn't, right? These are the weird things I think about. And I think about this stuff far more frequently than I'd like to admit. It comes up. You know, it might be a better plan just to dump stuff inside one of these houses and then use it as kind of like a little away base, because this is actually pretty far out from our house. And so I'm thinking that if I leave some food in here and I leave some water in here, this little house could act as kind of like a stop-off point for us if we ever needed anything else. And so if I spend a day here just like shredding stuff, I'm going to harvest you. Yep, that does not mean to pull a vest out of the material, though. It's a common misconception. Don't worry about it. But anyway, we're going to rip some stuff up right here. Honestly, I'm just trying to find things to do that don't involve me walking across the entire map in a stupor. A super stupor. Yeah, I like things about English hooliganism. It entertains me. I don't know. We don't get too many gangster flicks out here either in the United States. Like, I like hood films and things like that, but they don't come out very often because I think there's a very, like, limited audience for who will actually watch it. But I find that kind of stuff to be both entertaining and engaging. It's just an interesting look at a different world that resides right next to the one that you reside in. You know what I mean? Never hurts to learn something about the way other people live. Never a bad plan in life. Expanding horizons. I don't like them when they're over-stylized, though. When they're, like, glorifying everything. That's when I'm just like, on the fence about it. However, oh, look at that. These socks are better than my old socks. Like, no, me lord, please don't shred me. Too bad, he's getting shredded. That's what happens, and by that I mean I'm sending that sock to the gym. Sending him to the gym so that he can get all buff and be like, I'm shredded. He'd be one of those guys. All up on the Bowflex, just being like, bleh, with like a beard and being all ripped and shit. It's not fair. I don't gain muscle mass like that. I have gains, but I never get buffer. Like this week, I raised the weights on everything that I do, and I feel okay. Like, I'm a little bit more sore than I normally am. But I felt like it was time because my old workout was way, way too easy at that point. Like, it still tired me out, and my arm still felt wobbly after I got done. But there was, like, very little resistance when I was doing curls or when I was doing pull-downs or whatever. It felt like the resistance was a lot lower, even though I got tired after more repetitions. So anyways, I was like, I would rather do less reps with more weight and get like that jelly arms feeling faster, the jelly legs feeling faster. That's the problem I got into right now is like when I do like a straight bar curl or anything like that, the weight's gotten heavy enough to where my legs, I can't do the leg day and the arm day at the same time. I try to hit it all because I have limited amounts of time. And so I try to do like these full massive workouts every couple days. And I just run on the in-between days because running is easier. I have time for that. And so anyways, I gotta split it up though, because when I do leg day, my legs get all wobbly from the extra weight of the bar when I'm trying to do my workout. It's funny. And they're fine when I'm like, you know, when I'm doing my leg workout, they're fine. It's just because I'm trying to do my arm workout. After I do my leg workout, my legs can't handle the added 120, 150, 170 pounds that you're picking up. After they're like, nope, I can't do this right now. Nope, can't do this right now. Legs get all wobbly. You're like, don't you give out. I swear to God, if you give out. My legs like, what? What are you going to do? Cut me off? You're not going to do anything. Shut up. You're full of it. Like, it is true. I am full of it. I am very, very full of it. I can drop off food. I'm going to take the wood with me, though. But yeah, I think leaving the food out here, we have so much food at our other place that I don't think it's a bad idea to make a stop-off point over here where we can sleep for the night and kind of recuperate. Sounds like a pretty decent plan to me. I may leave some water over here too, although there's only one soda. Yeah, one soda won't get us through the night, but there's enough calories here to get us through a couple of days of exploration without having to go back to base, which I do appreciate. So let's leave a liter of water here too. That's enough for a couple of days right there. And we're at the point where we have so much stuff back at our main base that we can make these little mini bases out and away. And this one will actually be like perfect. This is great right here. Now, it's also important to note that we haven't gone through any of this stuff right here. So we will have to at some point, but I'm going to hustle my ass all the way back to base, and then we'll start the next episode. Thank you for joining me on out here for the next episode of The Long Dark. My name is Splattercat. Happy you decided to stop on by for the day and listen to my ridiculous ramblings. I will see you in the future. Bye, everybody.